Oh yeah, welcome to a Monday night. A Monday night. I hope you're doing well. Hope the world is treating you okay. It's not as cold tonight, although it is cold. Not as bad as early this morning. Hello there, Hamza. How are you doing? Blessings to you. Hope your Monday is going well wherever you are coming from. Hamza. I like that. Blessings to all. It's been a good day. Did some work. Got a good show this morning. Did some work. Took care of the wifey as she's still recovering, and we had a nice dinner. Now we're online, and I'm happy about that. It's been a crazy day. A lot of follow up. We're going to talk about that on the Patriot Talk tonight. We're going to talk about some of the a couple things, and then I want to talk about military strength versus China. I want to do a comparison on military strength versus China. Not to be, this is not an attack on Chinese people or anything. Yes, how you doing there? But I do want to look at numbers, and numbers can be deceiving sometimes. Yes, but numbers can also tell the tale. Hello, Michael. How you doing? Yes, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, without a doubt. So it is. Hey, I'm very patriotic, love America. I want to apologize for nothing. Whatever's in the past is in the past. We're going to, get some things done. We got a lot more to get done. Now, there is no perfect people outside of Jesus Christ, but there are some that are a lot better than others. We've got a lot of evil people in our country, and we've seen that on display over the last 48 to 72 hours. And so anyway, welcome to the show. I'm Dave in the AM, or AKA the Cornbread Man. So that's just something, nickname I got given to me by a fellow content creator, podcaster. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Really helps our YouTube. Thank you so much. Numbers have been doing well here lately, and we're so thankful. We're on every day in some capacity, usually. Every now and again, I'll take a day off, but usually morning and night, just about every day we're on. So thank you for that. I want to just touch real quick before we go into the China versus America military strength in the show and talk about some of that. I want to talk about. I think there was a source today that said that Bongino is going to take some weeks to decide his future at the FBI. And it looks as though he denied it. There was rumors that his office is empty. I don't know. He denies that. I'm not saying it is. But Kash Patel he's walking the plank right now. He's not looking good. He keeps flubbing up. And I said when this report came out that they reported on the FBI, this is not going to be good. Now he's standing defensive against it and says he's not going to step down or anything, meaning Kash Patel. But they continue from the very beginning, really even before the election occurred, they were getting everything set up. But really from the first day, there's been a disconnect at the leadership of the FBI versus the Justice Department and the White House and other ones as well. And we talked about this recently several times, how whenever there would be a report coming out, they would always have to go in and clean it up. It would be wrong. It would not be right. And I said that, okay, early mistakes by the administration, but it seems as though there just continues to be, in this world we live in where everybody picks up, the phone, including the president, and goes straight to the people. That's great in one way. It can be bad in another. The FBI once again failed to have the right dude, the killer, and implicated, released. They went right. We got him. It's that gotcha moment. We got him. Hey, Barry. And they didn't have him. I mean, they had the wrong guy. They had a guy, but where's the cornbread? Well, I'll make you some. I'll make you some cornbread. I definitely eat it, and I know how to make it. Praise God. But the FBI has continued to make missteps here, and that needs to change. I mean, they've got to clean this up. I'm not saying he has to go. I'm saying he's got to fix it. I think Bongino's getting a little sick of the whole thing. It just seems like, it's I don't know if you call it a bad fit. The report that came out said they're in over their heads. They don't know what they're doing. I'm not the one that can say that from a distance. As a person who's just, I'm a citizen. I care about the country. It's not a shot at either person, but honestly, this of all the people in administration, this is the two that it just seems like has not really been able to get it together. Not 100%. They have been long in promise and short in delivery, and flubbed up. That I mean, Cash is now known as Keystone for Keystone Cop. I mean, because he continues to make missteps. He went out himself on social media and said, "We got him." They didn't have the right guy. Now they're still looking. And of course, the White House is deflecting to the university, who definitely has some issues because they didn't have the cameras up. They didn't have enough cameras. The cameras they had sucked. I mean, there was a lot of problems with the cameras, and but they were all over this guy, and Cash is bragging about how they geo-tracked this guy, his phone, to the hotel and got him and got you moment. They got the wrong guy. And this guy, unfortunately, was made to look like, public enemy number one. And it looks like the dude's just some dude, man. He's just, it's just living life. I mean, can you imagine being in a motel and all of a sudden you got federal agents and everybody else, ATO, whatever they are. I mean, I don't know who all came. Certainly the FBI was there, busting on the door and coming in, and coming in on him and arresting him and disrupted his life. And I get it. And of course, this is the way investigations go. Sometimes you grab the wrong guy. Well, why we grab it? I mean, if we're not sure, what we got the ability to watch people until we gather the evidence, or you can bring them in for questioning, but don't release the name. So again, it just looks like the job is a little too big for Cash. And so Bongino, this is the second time this has kind of came up. I mean, the first time, there was talk that he was going to step down. And now it's kind of come back up again. Is this people just planting that stuff, or is he really thinking about it? I don't know. But a lot of people have been disappointed in this administration in this area because one, we wanted more action. I mean, we wanted to see handcuffs on people. We wanted to see some people prosecuted by now. And it's been a little short on that too. So not only do you not have people being arrested that we think should be in jail, like yesterday, a lot of yesterdays ago, they have not been able to be. I mean, protection looks pretty bad. I mean, there's just now they thwarted another attempt. They said, okay, that's good. We got some agents out there getting some stuff done. Where's the agents that was supposed to be fired? I mean, I saw several on display in Pennsylvania. I mean, where are those? Where are those agents at? I mean, are they in the mailroom now, or are they still out there on the front lines? I mean, because they're talking about Keystone Cops. That's what they look like at Butler. I mean, it was horrible. And Bongino was, was certainly jumping on them at that time. And now you're in a position, both of you, to get something done, and it's not a lot of information. We expected to see more. So I think tonight, again, the country's uneasy because, we've got. It's obvious that we've got around the world, not just here, but we've got terrorists that are being released. I mean, they're being sent in motion. They're being given their marching orders, and we're going to see more of this. And we need to be on the top of our game. And I'm fine with what we're doing and getting some stuff done. We got to defend the border. Maybe we do get Venezuela straightened out, whatever the deal may be there. But we got to take care of the home team. I'm America first. I understand protecting yourself from the enemies of the world. I get it. But we got them right here. Let's put some resources here, and let's get these people out of here. Let's get them in jail or, trial them and give them a death penalty and not take 25, 30 years to, these people are killers, and they're attacking. We're being attacked from within. We are certainly here being attacked. Well, I'd help you out with the cornbread, brother, but I do. I like it. I don't have any for you. I can tell you how to get it though. President Trump, for his part, a Newsmax headline said he points to the university, not the FBI, for delay in apprehension of shooter. Again, I think there's enough to go around. Well, I understand it, but it's gonna, whether they outlawed or not, you got a whole lot of people here, broski, a whole lot of people here that are following it, and it's around the world. I get it, but we're gonna have to go after it pretty hot and heavy because there's enough infiltration and just homegrown terrorists who are here that we're going to have. We could go onesie twosie for the rest of our lives and way beyond, and this could continue to happen. So we're going to have to get tough in this area. I agree. We're going to have to get tough. Today, the president says classify fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. And this is a key because of what they're doing on the border, the boats, maybe even Venezuela, certainly other things, just to put some of these out there. Because he's trying to attack some of these things where the drugs are coming in and some of the cartels and other people, and there's people in our country who are going to bat for them and defending them like they're it's like they're sitting on a porch and Andy Griffith show. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, man, I understand. But that's going to be. Do you see that happening? I don't see that happening right now. It's possible, broski, but I don't see it happening. I'm just saying. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying, do you really see that happening? I don't know. Maybe more's got to happen. It's kind of like the old. Unfortunately, do we put a traffic light at an intersection? And what is the old expression? Somebody's got to die, right? I mean, that's sad to say, but that's what we don't have the money for it. We don't really need a traffic light there. Well, okay, we had a wreck and somebody got killed. Well, that was one. Well, then, like we had an intersection like that right here off the interstate, right off of I-75 that comes in, kind of splits the two towns, one that we've been going to recording or doing live shows, and then here where the studio is. Well, one day a guy comes off the interstate in an RV, him and his wife, and they just fly through the stop sign because there was no traffic light, and they hit a carload of teenagers leaving high school and killed them. Then they said, oh, we're going to get a light. That's, unfortunately, we're always a lagging in response for stuff like this. It's got to be something really bad. Then we go to bat, then we get action. We may have people talking about it, but nothing happens until, more and more happens. And I don't want to see that happen. I want to see more and more people die. So just a couple things, the Australian Prime Minister has taken a lot of heat. The police were slow to respond. God bless the citizen who went into action. Did you see the other side of that video where he just stands there and points at the guy? It's like a Clint Eastwood moment or something. It comes out. I love it. We talked about it a little bit this morning, but I've seen some other video, other directionals, of camera angles, and it's pretty amazing. Mr. Killer 1 and 2, father, son, bunch of trash, just out there shooting them like they're shooting ducks at the carnival, right? I mean, that's what it looked like. I mean, he's just taking time, laying it down, aiming, shooting and shooting again, and, kind of taking a minute, taking it. Okay, who's my next target? Not in a hurry, just laying it down. And, an older man had to get up there and wrestle this guy's gun away from him. And, eventually they got shot. But we're going to have to respond quicker. And Australians are maybe figuring out tonight that they're going to have to respond quicker. Oh, but by the way, in Australia, they also said we're going to have to tighten up the gun laws more because they had these legal guns. So we're going to have to tighten up even more. Oh, there's politicians salivating over here about that. By the way, don't miss, and we've been slow to have the second show that will happen this week. Our show, Long Live the Second Amendment. We're going to be talking about issues around the country with gun laws, politicians and what they're trying to put forth for votes. I'm going to be looking at that. So it's called Long Live the Second A, the 2A is what it's called. And I will get that up this week. Hello there. How you doing? Well, I'm doing good. It's a Monday night. It's not as cold. God bless America. God bless you. And it's good to be here. Amen. The options are not good. I mean, I wouldn't want to be under the ground. Of course, I know where I'm going, but still, my wife's doing pretty good today after, it's a good day for her. She's had some problems and, things are going pretty good. Grandkids are all good and accounted for. We had a good dinner. The puppets, they seem to be okay tonight, especially Uncle Jeb with the MAGA hat on. We do puppets here. I got to get back to the puppets, but they got to get back in action. Amen to you. The Prime Minister over there is taking heat. You wouldn't think that a country that was started by prisoners would put up with this crap, you know. And so anyway, just kicking off. Well, I want to. That's a segue, and I want to look at. And I don't know if I'll get through it. So I don't like to put numbers, too much into stuff. But I did want to look at this. Let me find it now. See what I did with it. Here we go. Comparison for military firepower between China and the United States. And it's kind of interesting. So women, whiskey, and country music. Who's your country music? You just like it all, or you got a particular artist that you like? I grew up on some old classic country. I like a few newer things, but I like all kinds of music. I like gospel and bluegrass gospel, and I've always liked some rock, and and I like country, some old country. I'm not into the bro country or whatever, but a comparison overall. And they give check marks. And I'm just going to go down to this organization is globalfirepower.com if you want to look at it. In manpower, obviously China's ahead, right? I mean, over 1 billion people. We'll break that number down in just a minute. So they get the check mark, green check mark over America for manpower. Air power, we do. And we'll get to those numbers in a minute. In land power, they actually give that to China as well as naval power. Now that's interesting. We'll look at that deeper. Because drinking since 6 a.m. That's a long run right there. That is a long run. Natural resources, we get the edge. Financials, they do. Not sure about that, but their economy hasn't been great. But we'll go with it right now. Logistics, us, and geography, us. Let's start looking at it in a little bit deeper. Now, obviously in manpower, total population, it's nowhere close, 1.4 billion and growing over our 341, almost 342 million people in America. When you break that down to available manpower, because not everybody's available to fight, right? So for China, that is 764 million plus. We'll just round these numbers down. We'll just say 764 on that. And for us, it's about 150 million, almost 150 million and a half, but we'll say 150 million that they have. Obviously, they have a lot more people because they, have such a huge population. When you get down to fit for service, which is interesting because we know our military was a lot of it was not fit for service, and they've been trying to get this back going. It's going to take a little time. But the numbers are still really skewed toward China. 620, we'll say 27 million for China and 125 million for the United States. That's what they're saying, fit for service. By the way, those ranks, they're 1 and 3 through most of that. All of those are 1 to 3. Either all those are China 1, us 3 in the world, according to this comparison. Reaching military age annually, which is an important number. I mean, you think about the war in Ukraine and Russia, and Russia has more people, and how many people are I mean, they've had more die, but how many people are becoming fighting age every day, every year? So China actually ranks second in this with 19 million plus that they are reaching military age annually. We rank number 5 at over 4.4 million, which is interesting. I don't know who the others are in that, because I'm just comparing these two. Active personnel, it's 1 and 3 again. China number 1 at, and then us at, there's a difference of about 707,000 between us. So it's a little bit closer, but they still have the edge. Reserve personnel between us both, we actually rank 10th there, and China ranks 14th. So we're not even in the top 5. 800,000 reservists is almost really, it's really almost. We'll average it up. It's 800,000. And the last one, paramilitary forces, we rank. We don't have a paramilitary. They don't even list that, and they list at number 4. All right, there's your manpower, which we knew they're going to have a lot more. Interesting on the financials, we rank number 1 as money given towards military defense and for our defense budget, which is almost Well, it sits flat out there. There's averaging down to 895 uh, billion. Billion. That's the defense budget. China's is 267. We'll average that billion. We rank one, they rank two. So both countries, we know there's a buildup. China's been at a major buildup of especially naval, when they are on fire. They're building a lot of aircraft carriers. Have been catching up. They're still behind us, but they're catching up. External debt, which is interesting. We rank 145th. They rank 130th. So interesting there. It can play in. You think about debt, but people and then there's a couple of others. Purchasing power, we rank second. They rank first. And there's a lot of money towards power. So we have resources and debt. I mean, that's what it is. All right, air power. Total aircraft, we rank number one. Over 13,000 total aircraft that we have versus their over 3,000. They rank number three. I don't know who number two is, but we obviously have a lot of total aircraft. Now, fighter aircraft, that's total. So that's all kind of airplanes, all kind of different types of planes, from signal jammers to refuelers to whatever, bombers. Fighter aircraft, we rank one. They rank two. Almost 1,800 fighter aircraft that we have. They have about 1,200. So we have a quite a bit of difference there. Of course, and you start going to battle, you have some bad outings, and I would think that we would do very well there though against them. Dedicated attack rank one. They rank three, 889 versus 371. Transports, we rank number one. They rank number three, 918 for us, 289 for them. Training aircraft, we rank number one. They rank number four. Special mission top, 647, one for us, four for them. So see, we got air superiority. Aerial tankers, we rank one. They rank seventh. And it is a lot of numbers in between. In fact, there's not even close. We have 605 ability of aerial tankers because we got, and we put a lot of money in that because we go around the world and do missions, so we have to refuel as we do these attacks, where they have mainly been in their region. They haven't done that. I mean, what do they do? Fly 5-minute flight to Taiwan? I mean, that's about it. I mean, they don't go as far as we do. Helicopters, we rank number one. They rank number three. We have 5,800 plus helicopters. They have 913. So it's not even close. And attack helicopters, we rank one. They rank three. 1,000 for us, 281 for them. So those numbers are heavily in the United States' favor. Not that we ever want to go to war, just an interesting look at kind of where we're at. Because we know that certain administrations downed our military. I mean, dropped the numbers, cut the budgets. And I heard at one time under the Clinton administration, we cut more in their naval ability, surface ships and stuff, than most countries have in their total navy. We cut that much. In this land power, an important statistic: tanks. We rank three, they rank one. That's an area we probably need to improve on. We have a lot of tanks, but they have more, and tanks are very important in fighting, absolutely in fighting. So it's about 4,600 to 6,800. Armored vehicles. However, here we rank number one. They rank number three. We have right at 392,000 armored vehicles. They have 144,000. So it's very much skewed our way. Self-propelled artillery. We rank number 8. They rank number 2. 671 for us, 3,490. And some of these are the different ways that we decide to fight too. So those are all different kinds of things. You decide how you're going to fight wars and what you need. And so there could be a lot of that too. Self-propelled, towed artillery rank 8. They rank 9th. It's not something we do have like 1,200. They have 1,000. Mobile rocket projectors, we rank 5th. They rank 2nd. We have 641. They have 2,750. All right, let's move on to naval power. This is where I think that we have gotten way behind. Not got there yet. And I don't know if this lists the hypersonics. Those are great questions, and we could dig in a little deeper. And I plan to. I just wanted to get. I pulled this list up, and I was curious. This is not Jane's. You got to pay for that. That's quite a bit of money. I tried to do that one time. I really did. I've always loved the analytical part of this. Naval power, fleet strength, we rank second. And unfortunately, China ranks number one. Now, that's not good for us. One, because around the world, wherever we need to be. But, we got an enemy out there where we are. I mean, we're behind the ball here. And that's what I said. We're behind in naval. That's why when the president, and I fully support it, it was one of the first things he said. He said, we're going to get in the shipbuilding business big time, basically is what he said. A lot of people thought, and we could be building more Carnival cruise ships and transport tankers, all that. Well, sure. But that's not what he meant. He meant naval. He knows this. There's little keys sometimes that the president says, and he says it without saying it. We're not in a good place right now with our fleet strength. It's not good. We're outnumbered. China has been full on bore building, and we have not. And that's why the president said that. Navy is very important. Maybe even most important, Broski. Now, they've been trying to catch up in aircraft carriers. We still got them. We have 11 aircraft carriers. And you would think that would be enough. But actually, I think we'd probably need about 4 more. We have, battle groups, and some of those battle groups have 2 aircraft carriers in a battle group. I have heard with us having this, and we haven't had a aircraft battle group in the Caribbean in decades. I guess the Cuban Missile Crisis, would be the last time. But to do that, we have pulled that away from somewhere else. And they're always kind of playing where they kind of need them because there's not enough of it to have in every hot spot that we need. So whenever there's something comes up, they're always saying, we're moving the 6th Fleet, the 5th Fleet, or whatever. It's the Gerald R. Ford Group, which I think is the one down in the Caribbean, or the Dwight D. Eisenhower, whatever it is. They're moving that, that naval group to an area because when something happens, they're somewhere else, it seems like. Sometimes we got them right there, sometimes we don't. And you got to bring them in and do maintenance. You got to give the, liberty. You got to do maintenance on these things. And I mean, there's a lot of things that roll with that. But we have 11, they have 3. So that sounds great, but I don't know if we're building any right now. I really don't know. I'd like to know that, but I can tell you that China is. Their goal is to not only catch up but exceed us in aircraft carriers. I think this is something we better, as a country, pay attention to. Now we have also something called the helo carriers. Those are a little bit different type of ship that is able to do some different types of aircraft, helicopters, whatever, if I remember right. We have 9, they have 4. So we're still ahead of them there. We rank 1, they rank 2, by the way. Submarines, vital, absolutely vital. We know that at any point there could be submarines off the coast of our country, nuclear armed and ready to go. And it's always this cat and mouse game with the submarines. We have 70. We rank number 1. China ranks 3rd. They have 61. This is very, very close. Broski says hypersonic missiles can take out aircraft carriers through. That's why I ask. Yeah, absolutely. And that's another new kind of, I don't know how new, but it's new to the potential in a war. And there is a very real possibility. I mean, I don't want us to go to war by no means. But it is obvious that this administration has been fully focused on neutralizing the China threat, and they know we're not ready. They know it. They say it with everything, their body language, what they say. We are not in a good position. Could we win? Well, sure we could win. We're America. But the numbers, they see how the military has been let go. I mean, we know what was going on, and the people they couldn't get the recruiting numbers and all that. I mean, it's been a problem. So that's closer. Destroyers, we rank number 1. They rank number 2. We have 81. They have 50. And destroyers are still very important. Frigates. Actually, for us, it's not something we use anymore. So 0. They have 47. We have 0. It's not something that we emphasize. Should we have frigates? I don't know. Not a military strategist. I remember they were used a lot at one time in our military, but at this point they decided no. The Corvettes, we rank third. They ranked second, 26 to 72. Quite a bit of difference, 46 difference in those. Patrol vessels, zero for us. They have 150. Don't know what that is. What is the patrol vessel? Is it just a small, not as heavy arms, able to kind of like not a frigate, but able to get there quickly? I don't know. Patrol vessels, zero for us, 150 for them. Mine warfare, we rank 11th with 8. They rank second with 36. This is a big deal, I think. Mines have played a part in wars and, getting in an area, putting a lot of mines out in the ocean, in harbors and everything else. All right, logistics. They have something called logistics. For airports, we rank number 1 with over 15,000. So we could get stuff up in the air pretty quick. They rank 14th with 531. Big time for us. And logistics is huge. You got to get the stuff to the theater of the battle theater, the theater of war. You got to get stuff and land it somewhere. And that's why Greenland's going to come up again. I'm telling you, Greenland is going to come up again. It's a place for us to store things and be able to jump off from. And that's why Greenland's talked about so much. Merchant Marine. We rank 6th. They rank 2nd, 3,500 plus to 8,300 plus for China. Ports and terminals, not even close. We rank number 1. But I will say this, China has been working and building up ports in Central and South America, and so they could use it. And why there? Because that's on our back door. That's why. They've been helping refurbish and spending a lot of money in the ports through several countries in Central and South America, and that's to have be a little bit more prepared. We have way over 600. They have 66. Labor force, we rank 3rd. They rank 1st. Stands to reason. The people again. Roadways, we rank 1st. They rank 3rd. Fairly close. There's 2 different designations for this. I'm not sure what the difference is, but they have 2 different ones that they list here. And we're ranked 1st in both of them, and they rank 2nd or 3rd. Natural resources, very important. You got to be able to build stuff. Things are going to get blown up. Things are going to get damaged. This is an area, and this also not just for business, but for military. That's why one of the reasons it's without a doubt China, Russia, and America are after these resources in Ukraine. All of them are after them. And China is salivating that Russia will get a hold of them and they'll work deals with them. That's why that's one of the big reasons we're really in this, is the business side of this, to get a hold of those resources, those minerals. But oil is not a problem for us, but maybe we neutralize Venezuela. That's another way to neutralize the ability of China, who would definitely have agreements with them to have oil closer to a battle. If that battle became here, think about it. We rank number 1 in this, and they rank number 5. It's not close. So in billions of barrels, we are way ahead. Almost 21 billion versus 5 billion. Oil consumption, we rank 126. They rank 125th. Interesting. Obviously oil consumption would go up if we were in something like that. Proven oil reserves, we rank 10th. I didn't know that. China ranks 13th. So that's another reason maybe you look at another place. If you needed it, you could get it. Natural gas production, we rank number 1. They rank number 4. It's not even close. Natural gas consumption, we rank 112th. They rank 110. Proven natural gas reserves, we rank number 4. We got about a little over double. They rank number 7. We have a little over double of what they have. I wish I knew who the number 1's here when we were not number 1. I wish they would list that. Coal production, we rank 4th. We know China's full out on the coal production. Number 1, not a shock. I knew that this has been a big deal. America is investing again in coal and the production, getting it, mining it, and all that, and probably getting some from other places as well. I think I read when we were doing some of that. Coal consumptions, we rank 117th. They rank 119th. Proven coal reserves, we rank number 1, and they are number 4. Geography, kind of an interesting one. Geography. Square land, we rank 3rd. They rank 4th. Square land area. I don't know how that we get the difference on that, but I don't understand that. But it is very close, anyways. Because they have a lot of they have a lot more they can get a hold of over there than we can over here. Shared border, 129 to 134 for them. Coastline, we rank 100. They rank 98th. Waterways, we rank 5th. They rank 6th. All these numbers are very, very close. And so when you look at that, there's some, the naval part is what stands out to me. Now, again, I don't have the total missile number, and there are so many things in this site. I wouldn't have time to go through it. But I wanted to look at global firepower. The military strength ranking for 2025 has us number 1, Russia number 2, China number 3, India number 4, South Korea number 5, Britain 6th, France 7th, Japan 8th. And by the way, Japan seems to be getting a little more war footing as well. Turkey 9th, and Italy 10th. Please. Come on. Italy. Brazil 11th. I was trying to look down through here. Germany 14th. They've been trying to increase their military. Again, with the threat of, they believe, Russia coming across into Europe, some of these countries who are just full on being destroyed from within for the open borders and everything. If they had to fight a battle, could they win? I don't know. Israel ranks 15th. Iran 16th. Australia 18th. And believe it or not, Ukraine 20th. I didn't know that. So that is a global firepower look. Let's see here. Let me look at a couple other things here. As this site puts it, we're just going by. Let's go with fighters. And I want to look at that list again. Again, we already know that the United States was 1, China 2, Russia is 3, India is 4, North Korea is number 5, Pakistan number 6, South Korea 7, Taiwan number 8. It's far lower, but they still rank number 8. Saudi Arabia 9th, Israel 10th in this fighter fleet strength when you're looking across the world. Let's see if I can look at, let's see here. Let's look at the naval fleet strength by nation. We knew that China was listed as number 1 right now, us number 2, and it's not close. We got to increase this. Surface ships. Russia 3, Indonesia. Can you believe that? I can't imagine that of what kind that is, but 331. They rank 4. Sweden. And Sweden, yes, has been increasing their military for some time. They absolutely have been. Number 5, India, number 6, Thailand. I was shocked at that. 7th, Sri Lanka, 8th, Finland, 9th, and Colombia, 10th. There's some interesting numbers. Japan is way down in 20th on this Navy fleet strength. So I just don't. You would think they'd have more, but they don't. But obviously the superpowers have the most. So it's not. Let me look at. Let's look at. I wanted to look at the aircraft carrier because we only had the 2. We have 11. China 3. India has 2. Italy has 2. Britain has 2. France, Russia, Spain. Next on the list, then it goes to zeros. I mean, that's nobody else has them. That's always been a big advantage for us. Turkey has the largest military in NATO after the U.S. And this their leader has been itching to get in some kind of fight too. Absolutely. What is his name? I know it. I can't think of it. Let's look at submarines globally. Submarines, we ranked number one. It was close. Russia 63, China 61. So Russia was the one that was just at stands to reason. Russia is always incorporated and spent a lot of money, and they don't have a huge budget like some do on submarines. They like that. They like that service, the fleet under the sea. Iran, believe it or not, is fourth. Japan is fifth. South Korea sixth. India seventh. North Korea eighth. Turkey ninth. And Greece is number 10. France, Britain, Vietnam is number 13th. They have 9. Egypt, Italy, Pakistan, Algeria, Australia, Germany, and even Norway has 6 of them. Now, Israel has bought some from Germany. They weren't on the top of that list, but they do have 1 or 2 because I know that they bought some from Germany. They've exchanged some because they don't build a lot of that stuff. They have to buy it from somewhere. Destroyers. We are absolutely number 1. China 2. Japan is number 3. And then it drops off pretty far. India and South Korea, they say 4 or 5. The number's the same. France, Russia, Britain, Mexico is number 9 on the list. And Taiwan is number 10. Let's try to look here. Australia's 12. Australia better be... It's got a long way to go defend them. They better get. Let's look at attack strike aircraft globally. United States 1. We said that over Russia number 2, China 3, India number 4. Excuse me. And they have been buying a lot of military hardware from us. A lot of deals, big deals, the best of deals. The president would say. Yeah, Erdogan. Yes. He's a nutcase to me. North Korea 5, South Korea 6th. They're pretty close together. Egypt, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Italy. Does anybody think that Italy has a good military? I don't. But the numbers that they have, maybe they've gotten better. They've always been kind of a joke. Attack helicopters globally. We're far ahead of everybody, but Russia, China, Japan, South Korea, Turkey, Egypt, Taiwan, India, and Algeria. I wasn't expecting them to be number 10 on the list. Let's see. Here's the helicopter carriers. That's another top, the helo carriers we were talking about. There's not a lot of them out there, but we do have 9 of them. China 4, Japan 4. Japan is right up there with China on this. France, Australia, Egypt, South Korea, and then 1 each for Brazil, Thailand, and Turkey. And that's it. Nobody else has them. That's us. As the leader, we have 9. That's a new kind of shift. I don't think that's always been like that, but let's see here. Hang on just a second. Armored fighting vehicles globally. We are far and away number 1. It's something we've really invested a lot of money in. India is number 2. China's number 3. It was close, but they do have them edged out. Russia, France, Germany, Italy, Iran, Greece, and Turkey. Turkey has been showing up a lot in these, as we see. So anyway, it's really kind of interesting. When you look at that, America's in a good place, I think, with a lot of it, but it stands out that the naval part is not good. There's a couple of areas I think that we could improve on a couple things, but I think the president's concerned about it. I think he has been advised by the Joint Chiefs and others that this is an area that we need more. And the military has always asked for more, but honestly, we are not close. We need to be it needs to be much closer with China, if not ahead, because that is shocking. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. So, and then I would like to find and break some of this down even further, but I want to give you a little bit of that. I thought that was very interesting because there's been a lot of talk, and these were 2025 numbers. These weren't old. I mean, this is kind of where we're sitting at right now as we cross into a new year, kind of where we're at. And all these things come into play. the oil reserves. I mean, what was a lot of World War II come down to fuel. Could they get gasoline to the equipment? They were running out. I mean, that was the challenge. In certain battles, they ran out of gas. Remember, you couldn't get it. So resources, ability to get it there, very, very important. It doesn't list in here, but another part of your warfare is the jamming devices, and we have some of the best in the world, I believe, although there are other countries that have invested heavily here as well. And so we'll see. Now, it's interesting. What if, what would happen? I mean, we have this agreement with Taiwan, but what do you think really going to happen if China invaded Taiwan? I mean, do you think that they would do that? Sorry, Barry, I was keeping up, and I had the screen covered. The president mentioned that some people were wanting Hegseth, to step down. He seemed happy the way things were. Yeah, well, they're after him. They can't stand him because Hegseth is his guy up there that's showing toughness and saying we're going to get this military and strength and power and ready on a war footing. Basically, is what he's saying. And it's obvious that they went in and say we've got to get our military ready for whatever comes our way. You can't just fire people because the left is unhappy. No, I agree with that. But I think that on some of those, even the conservatives would say that some of them have not done well. Ron Brown and his wife were victims here. Recently, they were kind of rushing to conviction. Well, Barry, I mean, the boy had obviously problems. Heard they were having an argument the day or 2 days before. It's a horrible situation. Listen, I'm not a fan of him at all, but I hate what happened. I mean, I'm a human, and it's horrible. I can imagine my kiddo killing me. I just can't even imagine. That's horrible. Michael says the Dems want people to resign because they are scared of what has been happening. Well, they're scared of everything. They're always going to preach the end of the world. Clinton closed bases all over. He did, Michael. Absolutely. And yeah, that is a good point, Barry. China has been manufacturing a lot of drones. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know where we're at either, but there has been some agreements seemingly with Ukraine on drone technology. I mean, they're out over there fighting with the drones have become the big battle of the war. That and missiles. Barry, Italy, because the Pope has there's some military. Well, I don't know. I don't think they'll play a part. I mean, because of where they sit at, right? The boot. But I think they're very tough. Let me ask an off-the-wall question. What country has the most Muslims where they use their people as a weapon? I wouldn't have a clue. We could take guesses at that, Barry. And if you remember back the Iran-Iraq war, 10 or 12 years that was. 12 years, wasn't it? And there was a time when we backed both sides of that, right? I mean, there was a time we backed Iraq. There was a time we backed Iran, blah, blah, blah. Iran wanted to well, they did. They armed. They overran. Iraq had the tanks. I mean, they've always was one of the biggest countries for the tanks. I mean, they spent all that oil money and they bought a lot of tanks, and they were the biggest fleet. I think in the Middle East and most of the world. Honestly, they ranked way up there at one point. They were formidable, not as much as we are, but they were formidable. And so Iraq was wanting to defeat, obviously, Iran. So they go in with the tanks. I mean, they're invading Iran. So what Iran does is they arm 1 million men with AK-47s and just go kill. It's a suicide mission. But how do you stop 1 million men running across the desert with AK-47s? You can only fire so much and so fast, and you got to resupply. So they killed a lot of them, but they also got overran. I mean, it was a very amazing strategy, to be honest, and that turned the tide on that. Iraq thought they had them. I mean, they hate each other. They hate each other. They were going to destroy the Ayatollahs, and were coming. And after a long war, they were making moves, and that's how they defended themselves. It's much like Iraq wanted to do to Saudi Arabia at one point. They wanted to strip all the seats out of all their aircraft. I'm talking about a civilian, 747s, load them up with bombs and do a suicide mission. And the guy who was the Air Force general at that time, who, by the way, was a Christian, and his book is amazing. He at risk of death, he had to tell Saddam Hussein that's not a good plan. But he couldn't say it that way. He had to say they have American-made defense batteries, missile aircraft, anti-aircraft, and these planes would be destroyed in the air. It wouldn't do what it had to do. Now, he didn't like that, and the guy thought, I may die today, but he didn't, and he ended up scrapping the plan. But that was a plan that Saddam Hussein wanted to do to Saudi Arabia at one point. That's how fanatical this guy was. Crazy. Barry says, for example, hundreds of people fled the country in overwhelming numbers as far as immigration. Yeah, absolutely. We got to tighten that up, brother. They flooded into Ireland and the EU and America with a goal of terrorist attacks. What country encourages that? Exactly. We got to take care of it. Broski, I think you're kind of thinking we're kind of going with this. Take over Venezuela, get their oil and rare earths. We need to, and we need to lock down our hemisphere. Let's take Greenland too. Well, people might get mad at hearing that, but does it not sound like that the president's saying we need a deal done with Greenland? We need a deal. We need a deal. Like, it's almost like, it's like you're convincing a guy, like, you need to agree to this. You need to agree. You need to agree. And you're trying to get them to do this. Yeah, okay, yeah, we could do that. But they've been resistant. I think it's going to become a little more forceful. My opinion, I do. Venezuela is, it's not just, let's be honest, it's not just drugs. It's not. There's a lot of reasons we're down there. And so you're not far off. I mean, we took over a ship full of oil, and it's sailing where? Where's that ship going? Galveston? Tell me. Where was that oil headed? I don't know. We're going to make sure it don't go to other places that we don't want it to go. That's obvious. Broski, we haven't expanded our territory in a long time. We're overdue. Let's bully Europe. Do you really have to bully Europe? You just say boo. They talk a tough game, don't they? The main reason we're down there is oil and rare earth. Narco-terrorism is a convenient excuse. I'm in, though. I agree. I think that was the front. Not to say that they don't want that stuff here. Sure. But a carrier group? Really? A carrier group? They want rid of him. They want to make a deal down there. And they're going to keep that force down there. And, I mean, they've locked the country down. The flights in, flights out. They have absolutely done that. Let's raise our voice to Europe. Oh, man. They like to talk tough. They really do. The Brits, the Germans, the French, they like to talk tough. They really do. I laughed when they said that they tried to make like we were sissies over here and we didn't want to support Ukraine. So they said, we'll take over the lead here. I thought, yeah, right. You can't even lead your own country, you bunch of jacklegs. You can't even do it. So, yeah. But, I mean, do you think, what is the possibility, this has been the hot topic for a long time, that China invades Taiwan, and what do we do? What do we do now versus what would we do if the next president is a Democrat? What do you think happens? I'm just asking. Because there's been all sorts of threats. Do we intervene? Do we help in that? Or do we show support verbally and just don't let it expand from there? I mean, we've got a deal in place to come defend them. How are we going to get logistically? Let's take another look at this. We've got carrier groups within a general region over there, but they're not right there. If you watch some of the generals they all talk the battle plan. They know where the bases are. They know where the ports are in China. They know the distances. China's been running battle runs. I mean, through the air, sea, all that, jamming devices. There's all sorts of scenarios that you can look at. People that are much smarter than me, that are ex-generals and stuff, they run the scenarios of what phases they would come in, how they would come in, how quickly they could gain land there, what kind of defenses the Taiwanese have, and what could we do if we were going to intervene, and how quickly, where would we punch the Chinese to cripple their navy or whatever, or to help cripple it, or to cause them supply issues, resources, whatever. And again, how quickly are we going to be able to get things there, equipment there? And I think that's why Greenland is important. Yes, you're right, Barry, and I've talked about that too. They're interested in Taiwan. It's the silicon manufacturers. It's like Silicon Valley. I mean, they've got the best of the best chips. They have agreed, you're right, to move some of those over here. That is his goal. Hello, Dean Potts. They've agreed to move some of that over here, and we're investing that. And these are the best of the best. There's 5 plants or 5 companies that do these, and my understanding is they're the biggest, the fastest, the best in the world. Sure, China wants them. Sure, Russia wants them. Sure, everybody wants them. But that's why. China just sent a balloon over us to track us. I'm not surprised. Plot twist, USA and Russia team up to take over Europe. That's a wild scenario. I've also found a building up Japan. They are the craziest Asian I have. And hello, Dean. I hope you had to work today, right, brother? I think we'll be doing our racing and sports show Wednesday. And you'll be eating holiday meal tomorrow. I'll be helping serve that. So I'm at the end of the show. I'm going to try to be back and do a history show here in an hour. But hey, I appreciate it. We'll try to come in. This is kind of one of my nighttime shows through the week now is Patriot Talk. So it's not just tonight. We'll continue to do this. I have to modify the times because I got to go back and help serve tomorrow night and Thursday night. So got to do that. But yeah, Dean, absolutely. And thanks to Dean. Be careful. This isn't race car talk. Well, it could be if the race cars had weapons on them. Wouldn't that be cool? Like futuristic stuff. Like if we had NASCARs and they had like little flamethrowers or stuff on them, we could make that into a battle talk. I mean, hey, you know what? Maybe we just get a whole bunch of those ready and run them through the streets of Beijing or something. I don't know. Are you in, broski? Pedal to the metal. Got some flamethrowers. Some guns that would come up and fire. I think we could make that work. Futuristic kind of stuff. I'm all in. Oh, but yeah, Dean, I'll be talking to you soon. I got some good information. It's a whole lot more than just the interview, and we're excited, folks. I want to, as I go out, listen. This organization sent me this Stop Soldier Suicide. I have a shirt they sent on the chair back there. And I mentioned these this morning. I want you to pray for the veterans in America. This is amazing statistics in a sad way. According to them, and they go by the acronym Roger that, I guess. I don't know. 6,407 veteran suicides in 2022. We have 22 consecutive years with 6,000 plus veteran suicides per year. 140,000 plus have died by suicide since 2001. 140,000 folks. And it is the second leading cause of death for veterans under the age of 45. And so they give some numbers here. They're available 24/7. There's also a QR code, 844-556-2093, or visit stopsoldiersuicide.org/get help. And let's pray for our veterans. Also, on Monday night, next Monday, 1 week from today, we will have the interview with Mary Fagan Keene, the great niece of little Mary Fagan, who was killed in Marietta, Georgia, at her job. A horrible, horrible story. This fight goes on to today. She's going to come on, and she's going to say it's going to be Katie bar the door, because she's going to tell a lot of stuff that's been going on. And she's taken on names like Roy Barnes and others who have attacked her family. She's ticked off. She's wrote a book. I have that book on the way. I don't think it'll get here before the interview. And we hope to go to the grave before then. We're going to lay some flowers, pay our respects. I've been to that grave before. And I'll be calling tomorrow to get the interview for the Corpsewood Manor author, Amy Petula. This happened in the general region that I live. A weird story. It has a lot of parts to it. And I've started reading this book. I'm already in the second or third chapter. I'm in the second chapter. And we're going to talk about this. If you want to look this up, me and Watchman were talking today on phone, and he was talking a lot about this. He's interested in it. We did a little clip, and the clip said something about LSD and Satan worship and pentagrams and stuff, blowed people's mind. We were just giving you the highlights of the book talk. He had to rewind and find out what we were talking about. So anyway, I heard a recent MTG interview where she ran. It was a local North Georgia news channel. I've tried to get her on, but it has been hard, and we're still kind of new. But eventually, we have had politicians on, and we'll get more. But she I didn't hear it, but it's obvious she is still not stepped down yet. She still has a job to do, and she's been trying to highlight the monies that are being sent overseas. She's not happy about that. That's going to be a hot race. Like I said, we got to have the runoff or the race for that seat, the temporary. It'll probably be a runoff because so many are running for it, and then we have the next election, which it will be running again. So I'm going to be doing at least one extra election day, possibility of two, in just the next few months. So she officially steps down. What is it, January 5th, and they will announce. I guess it's going to be in February when we have that election for that. I don't know the date yet because they haven't released that yet, but we'll be getting news from election headquarters, and I'll be helping with that. So I didn't run any ads tonight. We'll get those in the next show, but do make the switch to Patriot Mobile. They still have the deal. Holiday 25. Just tell them the Cornbread promo code for the Southern Fried Patriot podcast. Promo code Cornbread, but use Holiday 25. That gets you 2 months free. 2 months free. Make the switch today to Patriot Mobile. I have 4 phones on that. We all have a new, of course, Mammoth Nation and our coffees. Our coffees are being relabeled to Wolf Nation Coffee. We got killer logos. Can't wait. I just got to get with our coffee company to get those switched around, but you can still order. They're still there. In fact, I got actually about 7 different blends of our coffees in the studio right now. Some sample ones. I'm going to send one to Jake. I'm going to send him some so we can try it out. And then I'm trying a new one. It was great. I love them all. I haven't had a bad one yet for me. And I'm not one that's in the really dark roast heavy, but I do like a mid blender, but it's all been great. So you can find whatever you want. And then, of course, some of our other affiliates. We got a new one, Fruit Hero. I was hoping the stuff. I don't really want to announce until I've got some samples coming in. It's supposed to extend your fruits up to 3 months in your fridge. It'll really save you some money. You forget about it. Have to throw that away. This will help extend it. And Fruit Hero from Australia down under. And my package should be coming in anytime. Dean Potts is looking forward to December 29th. We do have a little bit of racing news. We have an interview with a dirt tracker and more. We'll talk about that. Thank you, Dean, for reaching out. I talked to Brother Scott last night. In fact, I need to text him and let him know that day is for sure good. I will do that. And we'll work on where he's going to come from. Hey, have a great evening. Hope to be back here shortly. I gotta cut a news spot for in the morning and then be back on. We're going to talk about Patrick Claiborne, General Patrick Claiborne. We'll see you soon. Take care. Appreciate your support. Those that followed on the YouTube side, God bless you. And I will probably do a raid and just raid another. I'm gonna say who's on. You don't have to go. You can opt out. But I'll raid and I'll help somebody else and go on their channel for a few minutes while I'm setting things up for the next one. And then so you can either go or not go. I try to go to people that I like or I think looks interesting. One of them was a racing show. Dean, we became friends. They do a lot of showing old NASCAR on Rumble side. I think he would like their channel. I'll have to get you their name. I talked to them. Yeah, man. We'll see you tomorrow, Dean. You got to get in bed, get some beauty sleep. And I got one more work day. Then he got a couple of days off. And then, I'm going back on. I'm going to be talking history, man. Civil war between the states, history. But see you, Dean. Take care. Let me get the music ready and keyed up. and I'll be back around 10. See ya soon.